Now, let me see whether anybody recognizes this. Prescription drugs are a significant part of our lives, and we are bombarded every single day with ads. So let me show the demonstration of the push for consumption of prescription drugs at the highest brand name prices in the world. Sally Field says on television to us, I've seen it many mornings as I'm brushing my teeth on a television commercial, I always thought calcium, vitamin D, and exercise would keep my bones healthy, Sally Field says. But I got osteoporosis anyway, so my doctor started me once a month Boniva. And he told me something important. Boniva works with your body to help stop and reverse bone loss. My test results proved I was able to stop and reverse my bone loss with Boniva. And studies show that after 1 year on Boniva, 9 out of 10 women did too. I've got this one body and this one life, says Sally Field, so I want to stop my bone loss, and I did more than that. I reversed it with Boniva. So go ask your doctor whether Boniva is right for you, she says. Some of us need help falling asleep. Some of us need help staying asleep. A good night's sleep doesn't have to be an on-off thing anymore. For the makers of the most prescribed name in sleep medicine comes controlled release ambient CR. It's the only one with 2 layers of sleep. Ambient CR is a treatment you and your doctor can consider along with lifestyle changes and can be taken for as long as your health care provider recommends. So go ask your health care provider about ambient CR for a good night's sleep from start to finish. Does your restless mind keep you from sleeping? Do you lie awake exhausted? Well, maybe it's time for you to ask whether Lunesta is right for you. For a limited time, you're invited to take the 7-night Lunesta challenge. Ask your doctor how to get 7 nights of Lunesta free and see if it's the sleep you've been waiting for. Get your coupon at lunesta.com and ask your doctor today. Oh, they're running the men's room marathon with lots of guys going over and over. And here's the dash to the men's room. Guys going urgently. And then there's a night game, waking up to go. These guys should be in a race to see their doctors. Those symptoms could be signs as a BPH or enlarged prostate. Waking up to go, starting, stopping, going urgently, incomplete, emptying, weak stream, going over and over, straining. For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces urinary symptoms associated with BPH in 1 week. Only a doctor can tell if you have BPH and not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Call 1-877-FLOMAX to see if Flomax works for you and see if you qualify for $40 off. For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week. There are moments out there that you look forward to and shouldn't have to miss out on them. Sometimes bladder control problems can cause unwanted interruptions in your life. Doesn't have to be that way. Overactive bladder is treatable. Enablex is a medication that can help you reduce bladder leaks and accidents for 24 full hours. Ask your doctor about Enablex. Well, I've got a couple dozen more, and most people will understand what this is because they've heard them all. Go ask your doctor if the purple pill is right for you. They don't have the foggiest idea what a purple pill is for. They just think, with all these scenes of trees and green grass and convertible cars and pillow clouds in the sky, if life is like that when you're on the purple pill, give me some purple pills. I mean, that's what this advertising is all about. Now, I don't mean to make light or make fun of all of it. Prescription drugs are important in people's lives. I understand that. But you know what? You can only get a prescription drug if your doctor prescribes it and believes you need it. These advertisements are telling people sitting at home watching a television program tonight, you need to get up and go talk to your doctor and see if you don't need some of these pills. It's trying to create consumer demand for something you can get only because a doctor believes you should have it. Well, so that's where we are now with prescription drugs in our country. A lot of people are taking prescription drugs. A lot of these drugs are miracle drugs, and they allow people to stay out of a hospital. They don't have to be in an acute care hospital bed if you can manage your disease, your high blood pressure, your cholesterol with medicine. Good for you. That's a good investment. I understand all that. But this consumer demand-driven urge for prescription drugs is pretty unbelievable. Go talk to a doctor and ask that doctor what happens every single day in the doctor's office, somebody is coming saying, I wonder if I shouldn't be taking some of this medicine. I wonder if I read about it, or I saw the advertisement about this medicine. I wonder if I shouldn't be taking some of it. So it's quite a deal. You produce all of this demand with dramatic amounts of marketing, promotion, and advertising, and then you jack up the price and keep it up. And so then the question is, well, who can afford these prescription drugs? Who can afford it? And so that's what brings me to the floor of the Senate today, saying that when the American people are charged the highest prices for brand name drugs, and this year it goes up very close to 10% once again in prices, at a time when we have almost no inflation, isn't that pricing prescription drugs out of the reach of too many Americans? And so we are now talking about health care reform. And there is nothing, I repeat, nothing in any of this legislation in the House or the Senate that addresses this question of the steep and relentless price increases on prescription drugs. There is nothing in any of this legislation that does that. And the question is, shouldn't we be addressing this as well? I know that some will view this as just an attack on the pharmaceutical industry. It's not intended to be that. As I said, I don't have a brief against that industry at all. The only problem I have is the way they price their product. And I think it's not fair to the American people. We're dealing with health care, which is a big issue and an unbelievably controversial issue. This is one piece of it, not even the biggest piece, but it's a very important piece. Madam President, I've got a lot to say tomorrow morning, and I'll take substantial time. I know there are others who are going to want to speak tonight, but I want to say this. I have watched and listened in this chamber now for some while. I haven't spoken a lot on health care. I've been pretty distressed with some of what's been said on the floor of the Senate, and I've especially been distressed with the television ads that are running that are just unbelievably dishonest with respect to the facts. And, you know, the First Amendment allows all that, and I'd be the last to suggest that we ought to alter the First Amendment. But this is a great country in which we live, and over the last century, for example, we have made a lot of changes. And in most every case, in most every single case, the changes have been unbelievably painful.